Today, you're going to need to fasten your seatbelt, especially if you're an unfaithful spouse, because today I'm going to answer a question. I'm going to be very direct, as always, or at least as I always hope to be. I will strive to be very gracious, but there's no way around the fact that this video today is a very pointed, very direct video that answers a question that I have been asked for quite some time and wanted to give you some answers that I know a pretty significant faction of you are dealing with. Now, this is for the betrayed spouse, but I think if you were to design a pie chart, most of it is for you, the unfaithful spouse. You as a betrayed may say, hey, here's a video that explains what I'm feeling. You unfaithful may say, and it's my hope, because I come from faith, it's my prayer that you would listen to this or watch this and go, okay, I see things differently. The question is, can the unfaithful spouse still maintain contact with their affair partner and still pursue restoration? Not just can you still maintain contact with the affair partner, but can you still be friends? Should you still be friends with the affair partner? As I warned you, I'm going to tell you that, quite honestly, no. Not if you want to give the marriage a fair shot. Not if you want to give the relationship, if you're not married, a fair shot. You're going to have to cut off all contact, and here's why. Quite often, so frequently, we, as an unfaithful, want to try and save the marriage, but you can't maintain contact with the affair partner if you want your spouse to, number one, trust you. How can they trust you when you are maintaining interaction with the person that you cheated on your spouse or partner with? How can they trust you to keep your hands off what you had an affair with? I mean, to expect them to trust you, if you were an alcoholic, could you be trusted to constantly go to bars? I mean, if you were truly an alcoholic, could you be trusted to go bar hopping? If you were an addict dealing with drugs, could you be expected to hang out with people that were doing drugs every day? The same truth remains. If you want to give your marriage a fair shot, if you want to be, number one, trusted again, you're going to have to cut off all contact with your affair partner. Now, this one is a little bit sensitive in the fact that if you're an unfaithful and that crushes your soul, well, here's the thing. If you want to give your marriage a shot, you're going to have to commit to X amount of days of no contact. Now, if the marriage doesn't work out, all bets are off. Who knows what's going to happen in 90, 120, or 300 days? I don't know. But for the here and now, you can't have it both ways. You can't be trusted and rebuild trust and still continue to talk to the very person that absolutely destroyed the trust of the relationship. Number two is, so often we unfaithful spouses want the betrayed to stop talking about it. Let's stop talking about the affair partner. Let's stop talking about the infidelity. Let's just move on. But they cannot move on if you still are communicating with them, whether it be on social media, whether it be in email, text messaging, or even on the phone, and certainly in person. They can't move on. They can't get over it because you are actually bringing it up. You are bringing it up to them every day by your continual interaction with the affair partner. As long as you're talking to them, they will never get over it, I assure you. Number three, if you want your betrayed spouse to move on, they will never be able to move on unless it's move on without you if you maintain contact with the affair partner. Many of them, the betrayed spouse, want to move on. I talk to betrayed spouses all the time who say to me, Samuel, I want to move on. Like I really want to. I don't know how. I'm not sure that I can, but I can't ever because I know they are still talking to them. I have found texts. I have found WhatsApp messages and all the different mediums that are out there. And as long as they're talking to them, how can I move on and not talk about it? Because it's still a part of our lives. They're also not going to be able to, number 4, forgive you. Because forgiveness implies that they are choosing to live with the consequences of your decisions. Forgiveness means that they are choosing to no longer hold it against you. The problem is, if you're still talking to the affair partner, they're not going to be able to forgive you because that is not modeling behavior that is actually forgivable. You are not showing them that you are worthy of their forgiveness because you are still talking to the drug that caused you to almost lose everything in your life. Why would they forgive that? Why would they forgive you when you keep going back to the person that diabolically has emaciated their self-image, their confidence, their marriage, their relationship? They're not going to be able to. No therapist, no program who is in their right mind would tell that spouse to forgive you when you constantly keep talking to the affair partner and constantly maintaining a relationship because you are triggering them every single time. You are actually willfully inflicting harm every time you talk to that person that they are trying to not compare themselves to every single hour of every single day. Which leads me to the 5th variable, which is how can you expect them to be physically intimate with you when you are still talking to the very person that you were either physically intimate with or emotionally intimate with while you were in relationship to your spouse or partner? They're not going to feel safe enough, and they should not feel safe enough. They shouldn't have to try and coerce you back with better physical intimacy. They shouldn't have to compare themselves with another man or woman. They shouldn't have to woo you back by their ability to physically please you. It's not appropriate to rebuilding trust, rebuilding the relationship, proper emotional well-being in a relationship. Sure, there may need to be changes. Sure, there may need to be issues discussed. Sure, there's probably some needs to be able to talk through some things. But if you want to be richly intimate with your spouse or partner, you cannot keep talking to the replacement that you were using instead of your spouse. You're not cultivating safety. Why would they want to open themselves up to you when you are violating their trust, going to another place that should only be reserved for your spouse or partner? You see, if you're still talking and maintaining contact with the affair partner, you're showing your spouse that they do not take first place. You're showing them that they will always be second or third or what have you to this person or these people. You're showing your spouse that they will never be the priority. Why would they want to make you the priority if you are showing them they are perpetually not the priority in your life and world? You see, there has to be a clean slate. There has to be undistracted dedication and devotion to recovery work. And as long as you're still maintaining contact with the affair partner, you cannot deliver undistracted devotion and undistracted commitment to your spouse. It's impossible. It's impossible for the betrayed spouse to have clarity of mind, clarity of thought, and peaceful emotions when they know that you are still talking to your affair partner. And I would go a step further and tell you, unfaithful, if you're talking to your affair partner and not telling your betrayed spouse, and maybe they haven't found out yet, it is causing conflict inside you. I know about that conflict. I've lived there for 2 years. I know what it's like. It's causing conflict in your ability to be wholly invested in your spouse. It's causing conflict to your ability to think critically and to be able to provide a sense of peace to your spouse. I just appeal to you to start to cut that relationship off so that you can give everything to your spouse. If you want your repair work to be everything, you're going to have to give everything you have to it. And finally, maintaining contact with your affair partner says to your betrayed spouse, you don't see their pain. Because if you saw their pain, you wouldn't keep inflicting more pain. If you saw their pain, you would never want to do anything remotely close to what caused them that pain in the first place. If you really saw their pain, you would do everything in your power to help them heal from that pain, which would translate into staying so far away from anything close enough to cause even an inkling of that pain again. You see, if you see your betrayed's pain, you really will do everything in your power to stay away from causing that pain again.